Hey everyone, it's Eric here from MacBook. Got another video for you guys today. Got another one of your guys' mail-ins. This is a 15-inch A1990 MacBook Pro. If you guys didn't already know, we are located right outside of Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia. We take in local walk-ins as well as doing mail-in repair. If you guys are out of state and want to mail in your MacBook for any type of logic board issue, a liquid spill, or a MacBook not charging, MacBook not powering on, we have all links in the description down below. So let's see what's going on with this one. We have some notes on this. It looks like someone tried to open it and replace the battery to get to work. And one thing that they try to do, which is not good at all, is to try to do a DFU mode in there. And what a DFU mode is, we have a dedicated video talking about it. First of all, that's basically working with the firmware on the MacBook. So when you're doing any type of repairs in general for MacBooks, especially for data recovery or any type of repairs, the whole board is integrated. And when you have an issue, you need to make sure that you know what the issue is first before you want to attempt anything. When there is a problem, maybe like a liquid spill or something, if there is any type of liquid damage, then you try to do any type of restore without fixing liquid damage first. It's very easy to make irreversible damage or even possibly wipe the data. I see a very, very small spot close to one of these ICs, and there is a little bit of corrosion there, or I hope it's corrosion more than a knock component, because that can happen as well. So as I was about to remove it, I noticed the battery latch is also broken. You guys can see that. It's a little bit dark. Yep, there's no latch. There's supposed to be a latch that clamps it, and that puts pressure for it to register. Sometimes it's still okay because it does put a bunch of pressure, but it's that extra little oomph that you need. Okay, so lift this up and let's take a look. On the other side, go over here, let's go to the microscope. Let's take a look, do a visual inspection. We'll bring the light on. Okay, so you guys don't see darkness when I tap it. So let's see. We can also see another component, which is completely burned right here. And then the TPS one doesn't look to be totally bad because there's multiple pins that go around it, but there's a damaged area, right? There we go. We'll clean up that area at the top there too. Okay. Just a little bit of flux, but the pads look good. Everything looks fine. Looks nice. Okay, look at that. Looks good as new, right? Okay, so we fixed it, fixed the area. Now we need to go ahead and make sure it works because our work isn't done yet, right? Until you get the data, there is no data recovery. So we can get our 20 volts. So we still have another problem. So we fixed one area. Let's go back now to the thermal cam and let's see what's going on internally. This is our USB-C port. And as there are two connections here, that means there are two big CD32 chips. There's one here where my finger is, and when I plug that in, if I plug into the right port, it will light up. So if I plug it in, it looks like the top one goes to this one. You can see that this one slightly get a little bit more orange. It's a little bit better if I tilt the camera. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit bright. That means this connection is for this CD32. And then if I plug it in the other side, we're gonna flip it. There is another CD32 that's right next to this big coil. Yep. So if I plug it in here, this one will actually get a little bit warm, which it does very slightly. If I can get a right angle to show you, it's very slight, but that's it. That just means there's like a pulse going through there, right? So it looks to be okay because it needs to register in each one. And we see something very interesting. And this is, if you guys are paying attention in class, this is another CD32. Now you notice how this one is very hot compared to the other ones. So there are actually two right next to each other here. You have the main one, you have one that's getting extremely hot, which there's nothing plugged into on this side, and then you have another one that's totally ice cold. So let's unplug it from the other side, right? Because I'm plugged into the other side. And if I plug it back in over here, it's going to light up. And you see how that one lit up right away. So that makes the theory, right? If I go ahead and plug them over here, what's going to happen? All right, so let's go plug into your connection here. And let's see, so let's flip this over as it's plugged in, and let's try plugging it in this way, and let's see what happens. So there's two, right? Because I mentioned that since you have two of these CD32s, you have two ports, and one for each one, right? So that one lights up. What if we plug it in the other one? This one lights up too. So you notice how different it is when I change the ports, how completely different. So this port looks to be like it's for this one, which I'm plugged into right now, because you saw it slightly get a little bit warm and then it completely died, right? Just for a second it goes boop, boop, and then it goes out, and then this one stays lit. So this one on this side is lit all the time. So this is where the chip is, right? It's on this side, and it looks like the one closest to the heatsink side is flaring up no matter what we do. We need to replace this one. Okay. Put over. Okay, so now we want to check it. I had to check our voltages. So let's see, so we get about 5 volts. Still low ampage, about 0.25, but it's different because it was 5 volts, 0.36 amps. So it's a little bit different there. And both seem to be doing the same thing. So it's about exactly the same. So let's go ahead and check under the thermal cam real quick just to see what changed there. Plug it in. Okay, now we see, oh, so now we see something a little bit different there. All right, we see the other side now acting up. Let's try both sides. Let's see how it reacts. So it looks like the one, the other one does flare up, the one that we replaced, but it's not as bad. But the other one shows a little area in that corner, which is pretty much the same thing that was in that area too. I'm gonna leave this over here because I'm gonna go connect my other end, and we're gonna see if anything changes over there. Because if that means if I connect this end and then we see there's still a problem on that side, and we'll probably just end up replacing that one there. So let's go ahead, plug it in. So I'm on the other side, and you see that same corner now on the other chip is getting hot. So that usually indicates that there's still a problem there. So since there still looks to be a problem, we're just gonna go ahead and replace the other one now. Okay. So we got the second one. Let's go ahead, plug it in, see what we get. about 0.3, 0.24, and we get about 20 volts. Okay. Let's plug it in the other one, make sure. volts. Okay, so it looks good. Let's go ahead, plug it in, and we should get a power on. Okay, we're getting our 20 volts. See if it kicks up. Amps are going a little bit. 0.01, it keeps going down to 0.01. So there's one last spot that had some damage, and that was right next to where the battery connection is. There is a ripped off component, and the pad's missing, and that was a resistor that was there. So we can go ahead and replace that resistor, make sure that we build the trace again so it connects, and it's gonna be fine. And we also got a latch for the battery so it can have some pressure. All right, so we fixed it. We plugged everything in. So let's go ahead and plug it in now. That looked to have been the last piece. We're getting 20 volts, and it's going high. It's going up 7.75, 77, which is great. 1 point. Okay, 2 amps and the fan spins. Isn't that a miracle? All right, so let's see what we got. Let's see if this comes on, power's on. Okay, and we see that there's at least a battery charge icon. So it is recognized because we're getting about 2.3 amps. So the battery is charging with just how it is and how we have it placed. We put a little latch in there just to make sure. So we're going to let it charge up, and I'll be right back. It should actually just power on if we let it charge up for just a little bit. Oh, it's loading. Okay, there it is. There it goes at the bottom. And so we'll make sure it goes to an OS. And we're here for the data, so we're going to extract the data. And that should be it, right? Okay, great. So there you go. So we got an OS coming. I'm going to go ahead and get the data because that's what we're here for. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video on doing the data recovery on an A1990 15-inch MacBook Pro, especially if somebody opens it, tries to work on it and stuff like that there. There's always bigger problems, right? Because they're not natural problems or something that's created that you just don't look for normally, especially just doing as a tech and normal troubleshooting, right? So anything else usually makes that more difficult and makes any type of repair more problematic. This one was still very fortunate, especially because the customer did try to do that DFU mode, which is very, very bad. Especially you can see how much damage there was trying to force any type of firmware boot or anything there during all this before doing a proper fix and repair can risk the data. So we're a data recovery center now, and we also do a lot of logic board repairs, so we know what to do, how to fix things, and that's why we're here, right? So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please leave a like, really does help us a lot. If you guys are local to the Northern Virginia area, we are right outside of Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia. If you guys are out of state, we have all of our contact links in the description down below, how you can mount your device for a MacBook with data recovery. So hope you guys enjoy watching. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Bye.